Good afternoon. It is February 2nd, 2023. And today, I guess it turned out to be a range day, but it felt like an upward trend. We got two measured legs up, and then it went sideways a little bit, and then we went a little further, hit the measured move of this range, and then we formed a spike and channel down before testing pretty much the midline of the overnight range. And now it looks like we got two legs up and then really another leg up. So we'll go through this again. I don't see a lot of great trades, but I'm sure Mac has something marked in here, but I don't like any of it. We'll see. So let's see, okay, so 5 o'clock comes in right here. This looks like just like a triple bottom or whatever, double bottom. So you get this failure, but it's so congested, and those are dojis. You can't take anything in there. Excuse me. And we get this move up, but I don't think there's any way for you to take this. I mean, technically, this is a second entry long, but you're going into the highs. And that bar is so closes so far away from the EMA. I don't think you're going to take that. And so then we get a break, and you get a first entry, second entry, and with how bullish that bar is, I think you got to take that. I think you might want to enter on a limit order. 67. Yeah, that's a 5-point bar. So I mean, even if you said, all right, let me get risk 3 points, so 66.75. Yeah, so you wouldn't have gotten filled, but you could have gotten a couple points. You could have saved a couple points if you wanted to be conservative. Maybe if you want to go on that engulfing bar, Mac mentioned that yesterday, 71, you would have gotten easily filled. So, but anyway, it hits that scalp and then it goes sideways before it forms this downtrend. Unfortunately, this second entry here, let me take that off. This second entry short, you don't get a good signal bar, but it is a triple test. So you can't take that, unfortunately. You get this lower high, so maybe you take that one. But I mean, it just looks sideways, and it looks like you're going into a double test. So you see that? Yeah, I don't think you can take that, unfortunately, especially that early in the trend, because you probably wouldn't have this trend channel drawn yet. But anyway, we make this double bottom. First entry, second entry. Again, it's just not a good setup. This really just looks like one leg up. Come down here, you get a first entry, second entry. Not a good setup. Yeah, just no way to get in this. We get the break and a couple legs down, and it could turn out that this is just one leg down, two legs down before it reverses. And yeah, there's just no, I don't think you want to take this on the second entry short, because we already had a break and two legs down to a new low. So maybe you take this one. I'm going to mark that red because, but it's at the midline of the range. I mean, let me mark that green. But I would definitely be considering that, because look how consistently we're making lower highs. You know, we did make a higher low right here, but it looks like a pretty decent setup. Technically, it's a failure too. So that happens, but then we get a reversal. I marked it green because it looks pretty congested. It's pretty sideways here. That's 3 bars stacked up, but that is a reversal. And you can see a lot of people saw it that way. Now we just start going higher, and you get a failure up here, but that's too far from the EMA. I don't like that. And we're going higher. And we get a pretty strong move up. Second entry, but not a good signal bar. We get a break, close outside, new high. And I think at this point it's not in your best interest to go short because that was a strong move up and we don't really know what's going on. So hold off on the shorts. And at this point we're just going sideways and it's pretty clear. We're just flip-flopping both sides of the EMA. Even though this looks good, I don't like it. You know, we're clearly ranging. Get this double test up here. But really maybe that's where the range should go. Range highs. But I don't see anything I like there. Notice that we went beyond the measured move right here. And when we get this nice leg down, we failed to get a measured leg down. We come up short. So I was really hoping for a reversal pattern here, but maybe you want to take these higher lows. Only problem is when this bar forms, it looks congested, but you might want to take that. You can see it bounces off the midline because you would be playing it like a range. And you get this failure, but at that point, you know, we're in a range and you're going into the midline, so I don't think you can take that. But anyway, it turns out we're in an uptrend. This one's kind of tempting as a trap. You can see a lot of people like that. Like it's like a failed second entry short, or like a failed. No, it's like a failed second entry long because it trapped all these people going short. And then it rockets up. I don't know if you see that as a trap. Maybe you take that. There's probably room back to the EMA too. 87.50. Yeah, there's room for 4 ticks, so you might take that. And then we get confirmation of the trend channel. And that's actually a second entry long, so I'm going to have to mark that blue when it closes above that EMA. Even though there's a lot of sideways stuff right here. So this one, this trap, I'm not so sure. Maybe that's the way you've got to look at it, but if you're looking at it like this is a small range, then you wouldn't take this one. So why this would trap everybody out before going higher, I'm not so sure. I mean, even this, I marked this blue, but maybe it's not blue. Yeah, there's a lot of sideways right there. So I'll mark it green, but it's a second entry long. Really good signal bar. This is a good signal bar on a higher low, but I don't know. I mean, they just trap these people. There's a lot. It is very sideways though. You just got to be very careful. I marked this. This is a second entry long. Maybe you take that. Not a great setup. Not a good signal bar. Get an overshoot of this channel, and that leads to a huge sell-off and a spike in channel down. And so we're moving down. I don't see anything you can take really. Unfortunately, you do get this second entry short down here, but it's so far from the EMA. And then you get this failure here, which is off the EMA. So maybe you take that one, but this one, I prefer failures testing the EMA twice. And then when this one comes up short, you just got to sit, and you do get a first entry, second entry. That's a good setup. I think that's going to test these lows, and you can see it tests these lows right here, bounces a little bit. People are taking profits, but then it makes another couple legs down. So I think that's the easiest setup to spot of the day. And then we start to reverse. Nothing in here because it's too much overlap. This kind of looks like a failed break lower, this one right here. And we did get a break of this channel, so we're expecting a new high, and it's a double bottom. But I don't think you can take that, unfortunately, because that ends up being a really good move. Here you get a second entry long. That's also a double test off the opening price. So I marked that because there's a lot of room back to the EMA. And first entry, second entry, but you can't take that. Really, I probably should have this drawn like that. Let's see. Yeah. That's probably what that is. And up here you got a second entry long, but you're going into these highs right here. And it's pretty close to the end of the day. Yeah, 5 minutes before the end of the day. So a lot of action after the close, you can see. But yeah, I've been meaning to look at the daily chart for a while, so I'm about to pause the video and mark that up real quick. So here's a look at my daily chart, and I do believe this to be the way it should be drawn. I don't know if Mac's been drawing it this way. All I know is I think I have different lows than Mac. I'm pretty sure. I was drawing it like this. I haven't looked at this in probably a month and a half or so. I was looking at it like this, which you can see the midline does work here. There's plenty of tests here. And what it was an overshoot that led to a break and 2 legs down to a new low. However, either way, you get the overshoot that leads to a break and 2 legs down to a new low. So this is probably how I'd be looking at it now. And that's why we're reversing. So, yeah, you can see it playing off the highs right there. So I do think this is accurate. So yeah, that's how it looks to me. Here's our day. Hope everyone has a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.